We begin with breaking news in the Middle East. Israel has carried out strikes in Qatar targeting senior Hamas leaders in the capital city of Doha. It is the first time Israel has struck inside Qatar. Israel is calling the attack the summit of fire. It comes as efforts to end the war in Gaza continue. Doha has been the base of the Hamas negotiating group, and Hamas confirmed to the BBC its delegation was the target of the attacks. The U.S. Embassy in Qatar issued an immediate warning to U.S. citizens there. We have seen reports of missile strikes occurring in Doha. The U.S. Embassy has instituted a shelter-in-place order for their facilities. U.S. citizens are advised to shelter in place and monitor social media for updates. So let's go now to CBS News foreign correspondent Ramy Inocencio in London for us today. Ramy, thank you for joining us. What can you tell us at this time?
Mugo, yeah, good to see you. Quickly developing here, we're getting fresh lines from Israeli military radio as to the details of how this operation unfolded. According to IDF radio, this operation has in fact been planned for several months. The IDF saying that over the course of the past several months, through these on again and these off again attempts for a ceasefire and for negotiations to release those hostages, they say that Hamas, quote, has shown more rigidity regarding the deal. And so Israel, again, a quote here, decided to accelerate the battle procedure. The operation, they say, involved 15 fighter jets that took part in the attack, 10 munitions that targeted within a few seconds. And they say that only one target was attacked and that their pilots all landed safely in Israel. Now, as I've said that, it appears also that Hamas is saying that something slightly different to Saudi media. They say that Israeli warplanes struck one house. It's the home of one of the leaders, one of the senior leadership members of Hamas. His name is Khalil al-Hayya. He's also been the chief negotiator in the ceasefire and hostage negotiations. They say that they targeted his house as well as a nearby house, but it was his house that was specifically targeted, focused on. There are conflicting reports right now, Mugo, on whether he was killed, whether he was assassinated. Hamas says that he did survive that attempt, but other media say that he was, in fact, killed. There are reports out saying that there are other people, other Hamas leadership that were also in that house, talking about the most recent proposal coming out from Israel and from the United States. We do not know, and we cannot confirm any other names at this time, but it is understood that at least one name has been floated out there. And of course, we will get more names if and as they come.
And Ramy, I understand we're still working to iron out some of the information here that's coming out of this attack and if there are possibly any casualties. But we're talking about senior Hamas leaders here. So it brings up the question, if you're going after those senior leaders, what impact could this possibly have on efforts to get a ceasefire in the first place?
Absolutely. If you take out the people who you are ostensibly trying to mediate with, then who will you talk to? And then that leaves the open question of what becomes of this ceasefire and hostage negotiation from here on out. From what we are gathering, what we're understanding is that they were talking about these latest proposals. The most recent proposal that we had heard from Israeli media that came from the White House, it came from President Trump, is that there was the attempt, if you will, to release all 48 hostages still believed to be held in Gaza. That includes both those who are alive and dead. That would have been in exchange for potentially thousands of Palestinian prisoners. But again, to your question, these are uncharted waters. We do not know what will happen here if Israel, if the United States want to try to carry on with some kind of negotiations. Also to that point, Qatar, which has been one of the mediating countries along with Egypt, they have said that they are now suspending all talks, all negotiations for the foreseeable future. So even if anyone wanted to talk, at least one of the two main negotiating partners has said not right now.
And Ramy, I heard in your reporting there as you were speaking that this attack had been planned for some time, for months. But then does it come as a surprise? I assume it was a surprise for Qatar, obviously as a surprise as well for those senior Hamas leaders.
Yes, well, the plans, of course, if they are to be believed, having been developed over the past several months, would obviously not be made public. But it does appear very much so that this has caught the region off guard. In terms of condemnations that have come out fast and furious over the past 15, 20 minutes, I'll read these out to you. Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, Jordan, and perhaps no surprise to our viewers, Iran here. I do want to say that Kuwait, the UAE, as well as Jordan, have recognized Israel, have normalized relations with Israel in the past several years. So these are from potentially, you could say, recently recognized allies, now very much angry, I think is the appropriate word here, in terms of what appears these governments have been caught out for these attacks and these explosions that we've been seeing in Doha. One thing that we are hearing, though, is that President Trump had been notified, and he has reportedly been given the green light. But again, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, I guess you could say, potentially slightly differing from what he's been saying, is that this was totally, wholly an independent operation on the part of Israel. Israel, in his words, in a statement, initiated it, conducted it, and takes full responsibility.
Okay, Ramy Inocencio, thank you so much for joining us and for your reporting.